morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Thank you. So, Mike, you believe that golf is not that hard, and yet that goes against the grain. People think that golf, well, what did it say? Was it Arnold Palmer says the most difficult game ever invented by man?
Well, you know, there's a lot of parts to the game, and to shoot a score like the tour players do, it is very hard. But to be fairly proficient at it, have fun with the game, and get involved with it, and have it do things for you, personally, socially, for kids. I mean, what you heard here this morning is phenomenal. I've been involved with this type of thing for 40 years. We designed a program for kids that was called the Swing Game. And it used the development of different sports to get them involved, and then it used golf as an evaluator of all their talents. And so the game itself, to be really good, and to be good at anything takes a lot of time. But what I'm struggling with is people play the game for years and they can't break 100. It's one of the few games that people come to.
People play for years and they can't break 100.
Yeah, 90%.
That's either persistence or sheer idiocy. I don't know what it is.
That's exactly right. So my deal was, okay, why is that happening? And a lot of it is most people have learned other sports and they're pretty good at them. Mm-hmm. And when you come to golf, the lore has been, well, golf is very different. Well, I'm telling you, it is not. Your body does not know what sport you're playing. It just knows movement patterns. So if you have a sport and you've played it and you know which part of that pattern fits into golf, you're not relearning something, you're just putting it into another game. Because like I say, your body doesn't know if you're playing baseball or tennis or golf.
Well, but what I found out is that, and I had an interesting discussion one time with Danny Ainge, former Boston Celtic and now president of operations, and Danny was a pro basketball player. And I asked him a question. I said, Danny, when you're shooting a free throw and there's 19,000 people screaming, yelling, do you really think about what you're doing? And he says, no, you can't. You just get up there and you go through the motions. What I found in golf is your body may not know you're playing a different game, but your mind does. Because Danny said the biggest problem is when I'm playing golf, I tend to overthink. I tend to think too much, and then all of a sudden, your mind starts making your body do things it wouldn't ordinarily do. How do you get over that? How do you get beyond that?
Well, first of all, you're going to think regardless. When they say don't think, that's ridiculous.
Speak for yourself,
But, so it's about organizing your thoughts so you're thinking about the right things.
Okay.
And so a lot of golf, I mean, I've played US Opens and I've stood up there on Saturday in front of cameras and played with Jack and all different kinds of things. And
another name dropper, I'll tell you.
It's an exciting feeling, and I wish everybody had that opportunity. But what you learn to do is you learn to be focused on the right things, and those things keep you organized and give you a chance for success or a better chance. So it's about what you're thinking about, not don't think of anything. I mean, anybody who's played a sport, hitting a baseball kick, you're thinking of something. It's just that it's an organized thought relative to which you've had success before. So it's not that hard. I had a lot of success in the game really early. And I just very luckily applied the other sports that I had played. And when I came to golf, it was like, are you kidding me? This ball is sitting still, and I've been hitting one coming at me at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. So my thought was, well, if the ball's going to sit still and I can organize where I stand and I can aim correctly, all I got to do is hit it down the line. This is an easy game. And I had a lot of success really early until people told me, no. It's a lot harder than you're making it out. Let me explain.
You're doing it all wrong.
Exactly.
You're succeeding. You're not supposed to succeed.
This is bad. You're a college All-American. You've won a state open. You've played 2.5 years. We have to make you understand
this
how
is
hard
abnormal.
This is terrible.
So what do you do? What do you do? So it obviously came naturally to you, more naturally than it does to others. What do you tell someone who goes out and they can't break 100, or the first time they shoot a 120 and they said, this isn't even worth trying? What do you tell someone like that?
Well, the game, like I said, has a lot of opportunities. And if you have the right concepts, most of my lessons now are, what are you trying to do? And I'm going to show you a couple of things here in a minute. If you have the right concepts, then all of a sudden you go, oh, I didn't even know that's what you're supposed to do. So most of you, when you listen to golf or you watch it on TV, you're listening to tour players explaining what they see. That's like this audience here. That's like all of us going into a mathematician room and they're talking about the Pythagorean theorem. If you don't know math...
What's your language on this show? I have no idea what you just said, but it didn't sound good.
If you don't know math, it's going to make that not even comprehensible. It doesn't make it right or wrong. I mean, it doesn't make it wrong. You just don't understand the concept. So a lot of people, what they're talking about, it's not necessarily wrong, but it doesn't fit where you are in the learning curve. And the game has so many opportunities in it for kids and for people. It saved me. I mean, it was my safe haven. I mean, I grew up in an area where, you know, there were some issues, and I ran into golf, and golf basically saved my life.
Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
From Utah,
From
Salt
Utah.
Lake City. Yeah, and you know, I had some friends that I was hanging around with, and I ended up in the right environment, which was golf. And some people let me play the game, and I had a knack for it. And before I knew it, I was playing professionally, and here we are. So the game is a lot bigger than just the game.
And do you find that, do you have to be a scratch golfer or shoot par to really enjoy golf? Or, you know, it seems like, you know, it's one of those sports that you don't have to be an expert to actually enjoy the game, as long as you tell yourself, I'm going to have a good time playing this sport.
Well, anybody can have their own what golf is to you. I travel all around the world for Nicklaus. I do all the Nicklaus academies throughout the world. And every country has a different definition of golf. You go to Japan, they go to these big practice facilities, they have their golf bags, they go and they hit ball. They never go to a golf course. So the game has a lot of ways for you to define it for you. And it has a lot of opportunities in it, learning, you know, health skills, you know, hand-eye coordination skills. And it's just, what is your definition of the game? What can it do for you? How do you want to play it?
So you would not agree with Mark Twain, where I think he said once that golf is a good walk ruined or something like that?
Yeah. Well, it can be. You know, if you come to it and you think the game is going to be this relaxing walk through the park, I think maybe you're in the wrong sport, because it does take a lot of concentration. For most people, it's a focus. So it gets you, it's a distraction, it gives you time away, and you focus on something else to where you can't even think about anything. And hopefully it's a positive experience, which I can show you some things today which I think will really help.
Now, if I'm at any stage of my life, if I'm young, if I'm middle-aged, if I'm older, why would I take up golf? What would be your suggestion? Say, hey, listen, here's why you should go out and play golf.
Well, first of all, you're outside.
Okay.
You're moving.
So it is a good
swinging.
walk.
It's a great walk. I mean, when you look at a golf tournament, when you walk, if you walk 18 holes, you're going to burn about 12 to 1,300 calories. You know, now some of you are going to make a lot more swings than others, so you can add up to that too. So
See, to me, it's an aerobic workout.
it might be.
It's an aerobic. The windmill. The windmill. I like that.
In fact, I watch a lot of people try this game, and I go, you know, I'm not sure if I did what you do. I mean, I'd need a chiropractor at the end of the 18th hole every time I play.
Well, see, it's the only game I know where the lower score wins instead of the higher score. I was confused at that when I first started.
And you got it down.
I said, hey, I beat you. I'm at a 127, and they looked at me very funny.
No, it's like I say, it's right now the fitness side of golf is being really publicized. You need to be in shape to play the game, which is a bad concept. Golf can be your fitness program. If you just get out and walk and make swings and you're teeing balls up, if you do all that, I mean, that's your exercise program. Now, if you want to really get involved in fitness to help you play better golf or have your life be better, that's great. But golf motivates people to get out and move. Your body's designed to move. It maintains and develops itself through movement. And we sit too much. Kids sit too much. So anything that gets people outside, walking, moving, and doing all this is an awesome opportunity for them.
So if someone's listening to this, they say, well, yeah, that's great, but how in the world do I begin? Where would I go if I'm really interested in playing golf?
Well, there's obviously a lot of golf courses here in Phoenix. All of them have teaching pros. You go get some lessons, go to a driving range, and I'll show you.
So just drive on down there to the pro shop and say, I want to learn how to play golf.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's that simple.
It is that simple. And we're doing a lot of programs. I'm going to do one with the high schools. We're going to teach the coaches how to teach. And because most of the coaches haven't had a teaching background. And the more kids and people we get involved in this game, it's good for the game, which needs it. It's good for the community because we're a golf community. And so anything we can do to promote the game is really good.
Now, a lot of people would say, you know, you use terms like country club. That sounds really snobbish. Mm-hmm. It also sounds really expensive. You look at the golf tournaments, and those are on unbelievably beautifully manicured manicured courses. So the perception is, I would never start playing golf because it's just too dang expensive. Well, what do you tell someone who thinks it's cost too much money?
Well, there's all kinds of entry levels again. I mean, you can go to a driving range. You can. I mean, I hit plastic golf balls in the backyard when I was a kid, and it was just fun just to swing and hit the ball and make it curve and hit the house.
And you can have your dad stand up there with a target.
Exactly.
On his,
I mean, this whole snag thing is like, that's a very, very nice version of what I did as a kid with a plastic golf ball in the backyard. So
I did the same thing, but I used a real golf ball.
A real ball, and that broke windows?
My father was none too happy, no.
I did the same thing.
I used to play hockey with a real golf ball and a golf club. My mother, the first window that went, that ended that experiment.
Well, that's pretty typical, but there's a lot of ways. I mean, just going to a driving range and just go out and try to hit a few golf balls. I mean, when I show you what I'm going to show you, it's not that hard to make impact with the ball and to kind of get it to go where you want it to go. If you listen to a lot of the things that are out there, they assume levels of control that you don't have or understanding, so the game becomes extremely difficult. Most sports, either the speed of the ball or the severity of the sport force you to a pace you understand. Golf lets you go wild and occasionally hit one. You go, hey, I got it. And I go, no, you got lucky. You know, you tell me what you did. I have no idea, but it went pretty good. Okay.
It's sort of like that T-shirt that says, at golf, I hate this game, I hate that game, I hate this game. Someone else, nice shot. Oh, I love this game.
That's exactly.
It only takes 1 out of 10 to keep you coming back. That's the cruelness of golf, is that it keeps bringing you back, because it is enjoyable. When something goes right, even by accident, it goes wonderfully.
And that's why, again, that's why I wrote the book, I Feel Your Pain. That's 40 years of me going, excuse me, going through the game and saying, look, I've been there. I've been where I couldn't hit it, where I was afraid I was going to swing and miss it. I've been a good player. I've played the tour. I've done all that. Probably anything you've tried, I've tried. So you go back through it and you say, okay, what's really important here? And what's really going to help people and get them to where they feel comfortable and confident that they can enjoy the game?
Well, speaking of sitting too much, let's go see what you got.
All right, okay. So we're going to start out basic.
By the way, that does not look like the normal golf bag.
No, it's not. All of these sports, all these balls and everything, they all relate because they all come back to throwing a ball. You know, hockey players are always usually really good golfers because they're used to, and they release the stick. So when you give them a golf club, they're just going, and they just hit a golf ball. And it's a lot easier for them because they're used to a puck on the ice that they're not looking at, and they're controlling the stick, and they shoot it. So this lever system that they create is where most of your speed comes from in golf. It's not necessarily from your big muscles or your body. Now, here's the game.
Another Happy Gilmore reference. I got that.
Yeah, no.
Which they still don't understand because they haven't watched Happy Gilmore.
And they should. You should.
Go rent it. It's a good show.
It is great. Okay, here's the game. It's a club face and a ball. That's it. And you're trying to control side spin on a ball. That's all the game is. It's like table tennis or any of the sports. So the club fits in your right hand. No. Come on now. Fits in your right hand like that. Stand in front of me over here. There you go. Oh. So it fits in front of you like this. If you want to make the ball go lower than this club wants to go, you take loft off. Well, not your shoulders. You do it with your hands. There you go. If you want to hit it higher, if you want to curve it left, if you want to curve it right. Okay, so that's that part. It fits in your left hand like this. You want it to go lower, higher, curve it left, curve it right. Stick your thumb out. Take hold of your thumb. You got your golf grip. Okay, you want to hit it low. You want to hit it high. You want to curve it left, curve it right. Okay, now you got a golf ball on the ground. All you got to do is make a little swing with your arms and make the face run into the ball. Game over. That's it.
Had I only known this years ago.
So.
Oh my gosh, that seems so easy.
It is. No, seriously, I take people all the time, and when they finally see what it is and they see how the club face fits in their hands, see, this is a bit confusing because you've got this stick that has this round grip.
And you concentrate on this instead of that.
Yeah, and you don't, when you're looking at that, it's a bit confusing, especially for beginners because it has loft in the face and you're not sure what you're looking at. But once people understand that all they're really doing is they're holding this club face in their hand, or it's no different than if you had a ping pong paddle, that's the club face. So now all you're doing is you're imparting spin on a ball.
You know what, that looks like one of those devices I bought on an infomercial.
They've tried this. They've tried this. But again, that's what the game's about. And when you come to the game initially, what most people tell you is it's about how you shift your weight or how you move your body. And I go, no, really all it is your hands hold this club or this instrument, and your hands control the face, and your arms swing, and you hit the ball down a line. I mean, that's really what you're trying to do. So if you start out with the right concepts, I mean, you want to learn how to play golf, play table tennis. Because bouncing a ping pong ball on a paddle, I mean, all that is it's just face control. Okay. Almost every really good tour player is a really good table tennis player. It's hand-eye coordination.
For some reason, I'm thinking that after a round, I can't see in the Masters all the pros getting together to play table tennis.
They do.
Oh.
No, I'm serious. When they go the Ryder Cup, that's one of the biggest things that they have at the Ryder Cup is they all play table tennis against each other, and they're all really good. And there's a few of them that are world-class table tennis
So why
players.
don't we have more great Chinese golfers?
That's a good question. Not enough of them play golf.
Not enough. Okay. Whoa. Let's don't give them. Get that secret out to them.
Okay, so when you watch the tour guys, you'll see them doing things like this where they bounce a ball on a face.
Yeah.
They can all do that. Well, that's hand-eye coordination. If most of you tried that, you'd have a hard time even getting the ball to bounce on the face. So little teeny things like that, if you just start practicing that, and if you go to a golf course and you stand there and you say, okay, here's this club face, and I'm going to make it work. Now, here's an interesting concept. There's now cell phone apps called Aquimo.
You're going to bounce the cell phone on the club face?
I could.
Oh, I know you could.
This cell phone becomes the club face.
Okay.
So you can just hold this, and there's an app called Aquimo where you swing the phone, and the phone will tell you where the ball would have gone. So this trains your hands to make the club face work, which is what the game is. So there's all kinds of ways now to have access to the game. And it's not, like I say, it is not that complicated. That club face deal is a big deal. Now, when it comes to the golf swing, I'm going to show you all golf really is.
You may want to watch out in the first row here.
I'm not going to hit the ball.
Oh, okay.
All right, so if I make this little move right here, and you've watched it on TV, if you turn the Masters on, you're going to see guys standing talking to each other, and they do this. It looks cool. And that's why I copied it when I was a kid, not because I was doing anything. It just looked cool. I saw Nicklaus and Palmer doing it, so I copied it. Well, if you watch this little movement pattern right here, which is a hinging of my wrist, an unhinging, and a rotation of my arm, and you watch this. Now, as I put my feet apart, if I put my right hand on that little movement pattern, that's a golf swing. That's basically all it is right there.
So what you're saying is that we tend to make it much more complicated than it really is. If
Right.
you concentrate on the one or two things, face, how the face strikes the ball, that actually it's not as big a mystery as people make it out to be.
No, and that's, as a kid, that's all I knew. Because I came out of this sport that was baseball, and you've got a bat and you've got a ball coming at you.
What don't you have in that bag, by the way?
Pretty much everything. When it comes to teaching, I mean, you're trying to find something that somebody's done before. So when you go baseball or tennis, I mean, there's a golf swing right there. I mean, that's the major move in a golf swing. If you can do this, you can play.
Is there a bowling ball in there? Because I'm trying to figure out how bowling and
bowling.
golf.
Hey, actually,
there you go. How you do?
There's a hook, straight ball. Most people in bowling, when they come to bowling, they back it up. So they do this. Well, if they come to golf and they do that, it's a slice.
And it's in the gutter.
And it's in the gutter. True.
Or in one of those little bushes that they all sucks my balls in at golf at longbow.
So that was interesting what you said about those. It is interesting how one little bush gets the ball.
Oh no, it defies the laws of physics. There's this magnetic force in this little bush, and a ball just gets sucked, and then it disappears.
That's right. And
you don't want to reach down because down by there is a rattlesnake down there. Absolutely. And even if there isn't, you're convinced there is.
So back to what we're doing with this game is it applies to other sports you've played. Kicking a soccer ball, throwing a football. And if you apply the right things, you already know how to play the game. We've not done a very good job as an industry helping new people come to the game and giving them the right concept. We've painted it as this, it's this holy grail. It's so hard. You're never going to get good at it. You have to practice forever. And that's really not, that's kind of a bad message. Plus, you have to be in shape to do it. I mean, who's going to sign up for that movie? It costs a lot, takes a lot of time. You got to be in shape to do it.
Well, obviously, I've already fit that bill. I'm ready to go.
And one thing about being in shape, they rolled my ball out of the way. But fitness, you don't have to go to a fitness center. In fact, most of you, if you took a physio ball and you replaced it for your chair, about 5 or 6 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day, and you do your normal work, okay, when you sit on a ball, you can't let the chair hold you up. So now you're sitting there, and this is actually a core workout. So fitness becomes pretty easy to do to get you better than you are, and that's what's important, and you can just put it into how you move on a daily basis. The golf swing, just being out there walking and swinging, is a great fitness program. So if we can get more people out there and give them an opportunity to be there and get kids involved, it's like I say, it saved my life as far as gave me something to focus my attention on. I love the game, I still do, I still play, and I see the benefit for corporate America, for kids, for families. I mean, it's an incredible game, and we're losing players because people think it's too hard, takes too much time. We got to do something about that.
And it's a great way to get out here in Mesa and the Phoenix area because there's so many opportunities and so many beautiful places. It can be a great walk and can be fun.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, the book is I Feel Your Pain, Mike Malaska. Golf made, let's make golf uncomplicated. And if it's uncomplicated, it's fun.
That's right.
And it's enjoyable. Mike, thank you very much for being here.
It's been a pleasure.